At school, we may have learned about the solar system, but what we were never taught is how big the universe actually is. Take a look at the moon. It is often drawn as if it were close. In reality, it is this far away. The distance between Earth and the moon could fit approximately 30 Earths lined up side by side, and that is just the moon. What about objects much farther away, like other planets or other galaxies? So get ready. We are about to begin a journey to uncover just how vast this universe truly is. Let's start with ourselves. Human beings. Compared to Earth, humans are incredibly small. If a human were the size of an ant, Earth would stretch longer than 127,000 football fields lined up end to end. Yes, Earth is enormous, but it is nothing compared to the distance to the moon. To represent that distance, we would need 3.8 million football fields. If we drove there at highway speed, we would only arrive nearly half a year later. Now, what about Mars? Many brilliant and wealthy individuals are planning to go there. Again, if we were ants, the distance to Mars would stretch across 2.2 billion football fields, and if we traveled by car, it would take more than 2.5 centuries to arrive. That is about 8 generations. In other words, you would have to wait until your great-grandchildren's great-grandchildren had children of their own. Only then would the child of your great-grandchildren finally arrive on Mars by car. And that is just Mars. What if we wanted to reach the edge of our solar system, all the way to Neptune? If we traveled by car, how long would it take? More than 5,000 years, an uncountable number of generations. As if we had started driving when the pyramids were first built and only arrived today. Is your mind starting to spin? And that is only our solar system. Fasten your seatbelts, because this is only the beginning. Once we break through the boundary of our solar system, we encounter the Voyager spacecraft. It is the farthest human-made object currently in space. By car, it would take 23,000 years to reach it. Voyager travels at an astonishing speed of 61,500 kilometers per hour, about 192 times faster than a Ferrari. From Voyager's perspective, the Sun already appears as just a tiny star in the sky. Yet even as a tiny dot, the Sun's gravity still pulls millions of comets and other celestial bodies, forming a region known as the Oort cloud. With its incredible speed, Voyager managed to exit our solar system in just 35 years. However, for Voyager to completely leave the Oort cloud, it would take around 30,000 years, and the Oort cloud itself is only one part of a larger region called the local interstellar cloud. At this scale, using kilometers no longer makes sense. The numbers become unimaginably vast. Instead, we use a measurement of distance called a light year. To imagine what a light year means, think about this. We often compare the fastest cars in the world, and the debate never seems to end. But have you ever wondered what is truly the fastest thing in the universe? If you know Albert Einstein, he discovered that the fastest thing in existence is not a Ferrari, but something much closer to us, light. Nothing travels faster than light. Yet even at nearly 1 billion kilometers per hour, light still takes more than 4 years to reach our nearest neighboring star, Alpha Centauri. It takes about 100,000 years for light, the fastest thing in the universe, to travel from one edge of our galaxy to the other. And of course, it does not stop there. If we zoom out even further, we can see the entirety of our galaxy, the Milky Way. There are approximately 100 to 400 billion stars like our Sun in the Milky Way, along with an estimated 800 billion to 3.2 trillion planets. What is astonishing is that although our galaxy appears filled with stars, there may be millions, or even billions of rogue planets, drifting in darkness, planets without stars, floating freely in space. Somewhere within this vast galaxy lies our Earth, illuminated by the Sun around this region. And from Earth, the stars we can see with the naked eye represent only a tiny fraction of what is truly out there. Yes, our visible range is only this small. So take a deep breath, because our gigantic galaxy, containing trillions of stars and planets, is only one of about 54 galaxies in our local group. And take another deep breath, because our local group itself is only a very, very small part of the Virgo supercluster. Within it, there are more than 2,000 galaxies like ours. each containing trillions upon trillions of stars and planets, numbers so large that the zeros would seem endless. But as long as you are watching this, keep breathing, because even the Virgo supercluster is just a tiny part of the Laniakea supercluster. At this scale, every small dot you see represents a galaxy. This region of space contains more than 100,000 galaxies like ours. Have we reached the end? The answer is absolutely not. Our supercluster is not merely small or tiny. It is like a speck of dust within the observable universe, the portion of the universe we can actually observe. This is home to more than 2 trillion galaxies, each containing countless stars and planets. It marks the current boundary of human knowledge about the size of the universe. Beyond this, there is certainly more. To this day, it remains a mystery because we can only observe this portion. What physics tells us is that the universe beyond our observable region is expanding continuously, even faster than the speed of light. Many scientists suspect that our universe itself may be just one part of countless other universes, a vast multiverse whose true extent remains an unsolved mystery. Perhaps this journey does not ultimately teach us how big the universe is, but rather how small we are within it. Yet do not immediately conclude that your life is meaningless. On the contrary, we, a small species living on this blue planet, dare to think on a scale as vast as the universe itself, pushing beyond the limits of our knowledge. In the end, this is who we are, a tiny blue dot in an immense cosmic ocean, as beautifully described by Carl Sagan.
From this distant vantage point, the Earth might not seem of any particular interest. But for us, it's different. Consider again that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust, suspended in a sunbeam. The Earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena.